this Sunday we'll see the last of the Neo RC Super Sunday Series hosted at Ignition Raceway. And what better time then to get us all in the mood for a bit of mini racing than to look back on the last Super Sunday's A final for the minute, both legs. See what we can learn from the guys who were supposed to be the best at this. Anyway, so let's have a look at what's going on. On pole position, we've got Matthew Smithson running a Camtech. Then we've got James running a Camtech. And I think we've got Dan in third, running a Mardave. Then we've got, let's see who's next. Then we've got Mark, who's running a TWR chassis. And then we've got Paul running another Mardave. But the big story really is the fact that Nathan, running a prototype DDR car, has managed to get into the A final. And this being that this car's only, I think it was only its third race out. So really good to see another manufacturer on board. And yeah, so that's 4 genuine chassis manufacturers now in this category. So definitely the future's bright for all of this. And let's see how they all get on and see what we can learn. So a reasonably clean start from everybody there. A couple of little snafus with the back foot. Ooh, a bit of a snafu there from the leader. That puts James up into second with Mark and his TWR briefly in second and then back to third. So James in first now. Will he be able to check out? No. His elbows are out, but he's not checking out. I think he were pulling over to give the place back then, but he might have had a bit of an issue as well. Anyway, that puts Mark up into first position, so that's certainly a full lap there leading with a TWR chassis. A Camtech and now a DDR chassis up into third place. James hassling Nathan there. Will he get past? Might have done. Gone back to the leader. No, Nathan's holding him up really well there. Remember, that's a battle for position. So this is a battle for the lead now. See how Matthew negotiates Mark. Mark runs wide there. Good line through there. Matthew just biding his time, waiting for the mistake that came and gifted first place. Not really a pass there, just more of a capitalising on a mistake. Possibly something we could all learn is don't go for the place. Be patient and maybe the place will come to you. Picking Dan up now. This will be the battle for second place with Dan, James and Mark all having a bit of a tussle there. Ooh, James up the inside of Dan there. That were a good move in fairness. Oh, Mark, another little snafu. And we got a bit of body tuck there on James's car. Disco Dean to the rescue. So that's Matthew now putting a lap on those. With a short track, it doesn't take many mistakes for you to be down a lap or so. Some smooth driving there as always from Dan. It's always one at best looking shells. That Union, it's his signature Union Jack colours. Oh, sorry mate, that was the commentator's curse. James now about to have a bit of a battle now with Paul, I think. So that's Camtech versus Mardave. Or I think it's Mardave this time, Paul. Make sure you put a comment if I'm wrong. This is what I mean. You all need labels and badges. So we're halfway in. I think Matthew Smithson's kind of checking out now at the front. I think he's almost put a lap on everybody, or probably put a lap on everybody now. Certainly if he hasn't, then this is him battling to put a lap on Mark, who, again, a little snafu there. So this must be the battle for second then, with James closing in on Mark. So that's on-track battle now for second place. Does anybody know? Ooh, nice little move up the inside, but just misjudged that turning point. So that puts Mark back in second. Let's pick up the action with Dan, seeing if he can take the place from Nathan. But Nathan, ever the gentleman, knows that he's being lapped, so just moves out of the way. Still really good. If you look at how the DDR chassis is performing, it's really smooth. No issues. I think all the cars now are just as fast as each other. There's not one category, one brand that really stands out as that's the one to have. So if you were thinking of getting into the mini racing, there's, I don't know, James having a bit of a tumble down there at the back. The resident garden gnome there, Rob, just getting his car recovered. As I was saying, if you were just about to get into this, I think the two big brands, without a doubt, with this is still Mardave and Camtech. I don't really think there's a lot between the two cars now. Oh, Paul looks like he's having a bit of a problem there with his. And if you're watching this thinking, right, so there's the good lines for this coming Saturday and this coming Sunday's Neo, don't pay too much attention due to the fact the track has changed. So it will be a different layout that we're racing for the final Neo of this coming weekend. That should make it interesting. Helps level the playing field a bit, because nobody will have done very much practice with it. So that's the last 10 seconds now. 3, 5, 6, 2, 1, 4. Race over. Matthew there with a bit of a runaway victory. But I think it were very close and tight behind. Right. So now we're on leg 2. So remember, it's a staggered reverse grid. So the winner from the last heat is in last place for this one. So Nathan is technically on pole with the DDR chassis. Let's see how we get on. So when the blue car comes round the hairpin, he will have started. And we're off. I do like the reverse grid staggered starts. It gives everybody a bit of an opportunity, and the staggered start means you get at least 2 or 3 corners just to settle into things before you start battling with people. Oh, a bit of a snafu there from Nathan and Paul. Paul's car seems like it were misbehaving in the last final, and oh yeah, that's definitely misbehaving in this final. And Nathan, you can't park there, mate. Oh, a bit of a coming together there with Paul and I think Mark on the top hairpin. Marshall's on the ball as always. The only regular face that we're missing really from these finals now is Matt, a Team Mardave driver. He's not been to the past 2 events, which is giving everybody a bit of an opportunity to close the gaps on the points for the championship. Dan there having a good old scrap there with Matthew. I think he just got the better of him, but Dan's desperately trying to hold on to him. I'm not sure if Mark was letting you through there, Matthew, or he just drifted wide. James with a bit between his teeth now. Smell a second place for this one as well. Robust there, pass there by James. Just barging Paul out of the way. I saw that, Paul. It is good to watch. If you watch some cars, they carry loads of speed down the straight, drift wide, and then it's all tight lines through the twisty section. That seems to be the way to get a fast lap. So loads of speed carried through that section. Then it's all about tight lines through here, staying close to the rails. Oh, bit messy there from the A drivers. Come on, lads. Got a bit of a 4-car train now with Mark, Dan, Matthew and James. So you got 3 brands there all in one shot. A TWR, a Mardave and 2 Camtex. Matthew threaded his way through the traffic there quite well. And James is off after him. Go on, James. And I think the only difference between the cars is the power plant. So the motor they're all running. I think everybody other than Matthew Smithson is running a Satan. But put in the comments below if I'm wrong there. I think everybody was running a Satan, and I think Matthew was running a K21. Nathan's DDR car there. Steady away, mate. Definitely, it's certainly competitive. Yeah, look at that. Really good. Dead tight lines. Yeah, awesome, mate. Spot on, buddy. Really hugging the lines, making them work for it. Maybe that's the car I'll get for Christmas. This will be a good battle now between James and Dan. See whether or not James can hold a bit of patience. He seems to be doing really well, not just going for a gap that doesn't exist, which is good. And Dan's a really good. Oh yeah, just drifted wide. Oh yeah, that was fair. Bit of door bashing. Good move. Dan just drifted wide, and James was able to hold a tighter line up the inside, and that was all he needed. Yeah, good racing. More exciting than Formula One. Commentary's not as good, like, but you pays your money, you takes your choice. Can't be far off the end of the race, so this gives you a taste of what's coming this weekend. I think second and third are still up for grabs in this category with the A's. Yeah, good racing. Yeah, good racing, lads. Look forward to this Sunday.